How's it going, everybody? This is the wild child, Connor Hopkins, the handsome coyote in those damn coyotes. And you are listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following Sit Down Marks podcast is set for one fall. Introducing first, your heel host that is always helping to spread the good word of wrestling, Dirty Bird. Next up, the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme, editor and producer, Primo. And finally, your co-host, straight out of your mama's kitchen, driver of the grip wagon, straight off a cliff, assistant editor and producer, AJ.
Welcome, everybody. Episode number 85 of the Sit Down Marks podcast. Just a couple ticks away from 100. Man, I'm so happy to be here to talk a little wrestling with everybody here today. How's everybody feeling, boys? Everybody good? Everybody good?
That's all I got is that noise. Wazoo.
Got a big weekend last weekend in independent wrestling. Let me introduce these guys to you first. Back by popular demand, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Lucha Daddy has returned.
Woo!
Return of Lucha Daddy, baby. I am finally back. Here, happy to see all you marks sitting down. What's that face for? Anyway, welcome back, episode 85. We are closing in. 15 more to go till we hit 100. We're getting there.
It's my face.
Yes, we do. The plans are already starting to lay into place for episode number 100. Also, AJ, the current Kurt Angle Trophy holder. AJ, how you doing, my friend? How you doing?
You know, I don't think he's wanting to go anywhere.
Well, we're gonna find out if he's staying or going here pretty soon.
No, he doesn't want to. Whether or not he is, he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to. Whether he is or not.
Yeah.
Either way, he wants to stay.
Yes.
Good to see you, brother. See you over the weekend. We're going to be talking about that. Let's bring in the better half of the tag team known as the once Harris brothers, now the dominant, more alpha Harris has shined on through. So we brought him back once again. Your worst nightmare, AJ. Michael, what's going on, brother? Welcome.
That one lady really hates Michael.
Well, I gotta tell you something about that one lady. She doesn't know what she likes. Only I know what she likes. And I'm gonna give it to her and come on her harder than any other man's ever come on her.
Yeah.
How the hell did you get out of that grave? I thought I put you 6 feet under, just clawing your way on out again, aren't you?
Not deep enough.
Straw.
Just won't go away, will you?
I had a straw.
Oh, Joey bag of donuts.
And I was like,
all right, next time
it's the straw.
Next time, concrete mixer match. That's it.
Not even a speck of dirt on his sweater.
I know. Look at this pristine sweater on this man.
Gotta be kidding me, man.
I'm just saying. I mean, if you're gonna try and bury old AJ face, and better go a little deeper than 6 feet.
All right, 6.5 feet next time.
That'll do it. That'll do it nicely.
So it's going to be a 6.5 plus feet graveyard match.
Yeah.
I get really sleepy after the 6 feet. Like 6 feet 5 inches. I'm like and then I just get too tired to. So last inch kills me every time.
Now that I know your weakness, your ass is mine.
I mean, no.
Welcome back, Michael. We got a lot of fun stuff planned today. Thank you, everybody. Listen on all the podcast platforms out there. Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google. You know all those I mentioned right here each and every week. And we want to thank SportsWire Online Radio for bringing us in each and every Friday. You got those new episodes dropping with a Thomas Bryce show right after it. Thank you so much to Thomas Bryce also for playing our show throughout the week. If you got a chance and want to try out some new podcasts, some new shows, man, hop on over to SportsWireOnlineRadio.com, put that in your Google machine, and try out some different shows. They talk baseball there, they talk hockey, obviously wrestling, that kind of stuff too. But go check it out and check all those guys out. We appreciate them playing us each and every week. And also we want to thank everybody for continuing to leave us those reviews on all the platforms that you're listening on. It goes a long way in helping us here. And so we do thank you, right, Lucha Daddy? It's going to be hard to take you serious in that. You look like a cat, kind of.
I know, it's like there's little ears
yes,
on it.
That's right, baby.
All right. Pump of the pod here. Let's see what the old Jukity bots is going to kick us off with here. See, that's why I should let Primo just say that word. It's not my word.
Old Jukity box, baby.
There it is.
Let's get it on.
Bruiserweight, Pete Dunne. Back in the old days.
I think you mean Butch.
You mean brawling bruiserweight.
Right.
He is a brawling bruiser.
This particular area, not when this song came out, though. Yeah, he was the old heel. Remember, he was like such a heel in that was it NXT UK show? Yeah, he like fucked up Regal like in the first show or something like that. Like, yeah,
it's good booking right there.
That is good booking. It turned out pretty well, I'll tell you that. All right, welcome everybody. I am the Dirty Bird. Welcome to the show. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about here. It's time to see who is the Kurt Angle Trophy winner after this past weekend's WWE Extreme Rules Premium Live event, as those idiots call it now. This past, I'll always call it pay-per-view, man. It's just
they're pay-per-views.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
In an era where we're shortening everything and putting initials on everything, pay-per-view is already lined and set out for them. It's perfect. We already know what it is, right? But no, we're going to extend it. We're going to make it a premium live event.
Nope.
So we're going to call it a PLE.
Because you're still paying to view it.
Sure.
So call it a pay-per-view still.
Yeah.
Subscribers only.
Stupid. I hate it. Dumb.
Sure.
I'll punch it in the face of it.
Small rant there. Michael is back to talk top 5 favorite masked wrestlers with us in the Dropkick discussion. He's going to try to take down his brother once again, but this time in Last Man Standing, where AJ is the king of that mountain. So we're going to have to see
undefeated king of that mountain.
And Lucha Daddy's going to be the sleeping third wheel that's going to take them both down.
Shit.
AJ and I are going to talk about last weekend's Dreamwave Wrestling show, and we got good old Jake Roberts today to bring us another lesson in promo school. He had a little message for the Macho Man in 1991. I think it was Tuesday in Texas, right after the famous biting incident from when he got bit by the snake. So this is a really awesome promo here. So we'll be listening to that here shortly. Primo, if you're ready, man, you know what to do.
Man, I had lots of Tuesdays in Texas.
Like at once a week?
Yeah, at least.
You know what they call Tuesdays in Texas?
Swanky, doesn't it? I had a lot of Tuesdays in Texas.
Woo! All them Tuesdays.
Man.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big B.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening
to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, so kicking off with the indie roundup, let's talk about last weekend. AJ and I, real life shit, surreal, real life stuff, got in the way of us making it to Anarchy on Friday. AJ work, me with work at home type stuff. So wasn't able to make it. I heard it was a really awesome card. They had a huge crowd. So excited to see that they're still filling up the Spalding Hall. I did spoiler alert, asked Dylan, who went to the show, who won between Gary and Davey Vega, and Gary J won. So, I'm a Davey Vega guy. Love Gary, but I'm a Davey Vega guy. So, looks like they're going to be doing the rematch between Gary and Derek Neal at Circus Maximus, I believe, the next one coming up. So, but let's get to Dreamwave. Let's talk about it, AJ. So, I didn't mention it before last week's pod because it was under some other circumstances that I want to talk about. But I was asked to be the ring announcer for Dreamwave Wrestling last week by the promoter Jay Repsol, who had been on the pod before. And nobody says no to that job, right? I mean, you just don't say no. That card was unbelievable. Lance Archer, Griff Garrison, which we can't drive really off the cliff anymore because I had a good 10-minute conversation with him. And it turns out we're kind of from the same neck of the woods, man. So I can't really, make fun of my guy. Well, I mean, we're varsity blonde guys, but we used to talk about driving the Griff wagon off the cliff. Did we not, AJ?
Does the Griff wagon need to be steered away from the cliff into like a nice B&B?
I think a nice emergency brake has to be installed.
Like on driving the Griff wagon straight to a pancake house?
Yes, much better. Yeah, he likes salads, so where he was.
Oh, it's going off the cliff again. Jesus Christ, Christensen. Salads.
Oh yeah, but So I got to step in under some circumstances, so I was honored that Jay asked me to do it. Thank you so much, Jay, again. Which, by the way, today. Happy birthday. Today's Jay Repsol's birthday.
Hey,
happy birthday, Jay, former guest on the pod.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Today is technically Wednesday, October 12th. So
my niece's birthday.
Happy birthday, Primo's niece.
Primo's niece's birthday. Woo! You want to say her real name?
Yesterday was
shoot name.
Her name?
I said, do you want to say the shoot name?
Nah.
Okay, cool.
Primo's niece is sufficient.
Okay, cool.
But I will say there was a certain little boy who had a birthday yesterday.
Primo boy.
We'll call him Little Primo.
Little Primo got a cool new mask like
he sure
Daddy.
did.
That mask is awesome.
He's a descendant of the Lucha Daddy.
Right.
He's Lucha
like his father before him.
Looking good, little Lucha.
It's funny because when he puts the mask on, he talks like me, and he talks to my daughter like I talk when I have the mask on. It's the funniest shit in the world. My daughter said, "I know it was just my brother when he was under the mask."
That is goddamn adorable.
All right, so Dreamwave Wrestling, AJ, I would guess they sold over 300 pre-sale. So I think it was roughly, what do you think, 450 maybe?
Well, since we way undershot last time, let's just say 1,000 people were there.
was there,
1,000 people.
It was pretty packed outdoors.
Yeah,
the weather was just good enough. The hard camera was straight in the sun, so I had a hard time kind of looking at the hard camera because my eyes were just water.
Oh, we saw you.
Yeah. And so I was, so an absolute honor to do it. Awesome takeaways. Lance Archer is a large human being.
He's a monster.
Very nice in the same sense, though.
Yeah.
Griff was awesome. Lince Dorado, like I could talk to that guy for hours, man. Just a solid, cool dude. I loved getting. He did a tribute to the Undertaker's entrance, which he's like a Dreamwave guy from a long time ago. So it was fun getting his entrance together. Getting his cues right and that kind of stuff. It was awesome to be involved with the show. Everybody's super cool. We had a really, really awesome time. Turned out great. So, And then they announced, I got to announce while I was there, their next show is December the 10th. And Raven's going to be there.
Nevermore. That's a cool poster. Even though he doesn't look like that anymore, but that's fine. I think that's okay.
So that was cool. Evil Uno's going to be there.
Yeah, Evil Uno.
Yeah, so
I can't wait to meet Evil Uno.
Yeah, it was awesome. Looking forward to that. And so now AJ and I's next show, we look forward to October 29th, which is a couple weeks away. We just got the posters in today. I was putting them up all over town to promote the show. We're going back to Iron Spirit Pro, back home to our normal activity center where we run in the wintertime. So those are going to be, that's going to be a fun show. We're getting that put all together. So, so that show's coming up. And, man, just a surreal weekend getting to ring announce. There it is. AJ's got the poster up there. Yeah, we'll have it up on screen next week as well. So, got a lot to talk about here, so let's move on, boys. Let's talk a little WWE here to start before we get to Extreme Rules results.
Yeah.
So SmackDown last week, we all talked about it. We all knew it. That Sami Zayn had the internet abuzz because he is just gold. This opening segment, when he was calling Logan Paul a giant number 2, and he made Roman crack, out of character.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's great.
Oh, that was so funny. Roman physically had to turn around because he couldn't handle it. He was laughing so hard.
I think my theory needs to happen. Sami Zayn needs the belt because he's the best. He's just the best.
Oh no, they're teasing the Jay. Maybe might be the first one out. They're teasing now.
Which, I'm sorry, Jey Uso can't be the face of a company. He can't even be the face of a tag team because there's another one that looks exactly like him. So how is he supposed to be that's not believable to me.
Right. What did you guys see? El Legado Fantasma is on SmackDown.
Yeah.
They got their own music too.
Hell yeah. Which I'm excited about.
Me too. I love
it. A fellow luchador.
Yes, sir.
But
people.
I just didn't understand how they pretended, not the Legado del Fantasma, but the commentators and the audience pretended for so long they had masks on, but they were the same masks they wore in NXT.
Yeah, same masks.
I'm like, we know who that. Like, stop pretending you don't know who this is.
Right. Yeah.
Also, I hated it when what's his name? He the big reveal, and then he's like, "SmackDown is ours." It's like, no, it's not. You are going to be
I love
lower to mid card.
Pablo Escobar.
Right.
Yeah,
this is great. I love it.
But
right.
But no,
I've never said that sentence in my life. I love Pablo Escobar.
The lower card on SmackDown might be
Santos
worse, but
is awesome. And on top of that, the one thing I did find interesting: why did they have Zelina Vega
with blonde hair
and not Elektra Lopez?
Yeah,
I have different plans for her. We haven't seen either one in a long time, so.
Okay,
I kind of like the Zelina,
I second that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so knowing this was SmackDown last week, not knowing that we know now, we got the new Rabbit Hole segment where he went through a purple X on the screen and Extreme Rules date came up on the screen, letting us know that something's happening at Extreme Rules, which we predicted would not happen, but that's wrestling. We were wrong, so that was exciting.
It's one of those where you're happy to be wrong, though.
Yeah, for sure.
We were trying to reverse psychology them.
Yes, we were. We're like, no, it's not going to happen.
Right.
The Survivor Series at the earliest.
I got something to say. You guys ready?
Go on.
L.A.
Knight. Let me talk to you.
He's back. That's right.
Thank fucking God.
For sure, right?
LA Knight, yeah.
Well,
sure.
You didn't like Max? Oh, poor Max. And his modeling agency.
He's gonna beat their ass now.
Well, the thing too is LA Knight, Eli, whatever you want to call him, he could have made
Drake.
Max Dupree work with the male maximum models or whatever, but it's that's just not what we want to see him as because we all like his other characters. And I'm so happy.
I am too. Are they going to keep Mansoor and Mache or whatever the fuck they're calling him now?
Mansoor and Mace.
Mansoor. Yeah,
they can still be a modelish type tag team.
Well, they're with Maxine, right?
I've seen that before.
I hate it. I hated it so much.
Dupree.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But before we get to Extreme Rules, the results here, AJ, will give you the floor. You have the results of the Kurt Angle Trophy. I got very busy, obviously, this weekend. Did not get to put in my picks, so I was disqualified. So the boys get to battle this one out. AJ, if you will, did you retain, or is Primo the new champ?
So we had a little.
Say our picks first, yeah.
We had a little 1v1. So we were.
You know me, bro.
So Brawling Brutes versus Imperium. Both of us had the Brawling Brutes, which was correct. They did win. And then Ronda Rousey beat Liv Morgan. Both of us have Liv, so we missed that one.
Bologna sandwich.
We both had Karrion Kross beating Drew McIntyre. We both had Bayley beating Bianca Belair, so we missed that one. And then I had Finn Balor beating Edge. He had the opposite, so I won that one. And then Matt Riddle defeated Seth Rollins, and I had Rollins. He had. That means it comes down to the tiebreaker, which is the time of the Bianca Belair and Bayley match.
Ooh, drum roll, please.
How many times have my decisions come down to fucking the time?
All of like all of them. So the official time was 16:40.
Yep, that's about
Primo,
right.
you had 19:30 as your guess, leaving a difference of 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
It's not bad.
I had 14 minutes even, with a difference of 2 minutes and 40 seconds, which means, can I have some music or something, please? Because...
And still, Kurt Angle Trophy champion once again. AJ, congratulations, sir.
Successfully defended. You can't come for me. How dare you come for me?
So you will retain until Survivor Series. There you go. Oh, there's your music. He's still hook champion.
I just splooged.
Yeah, it
came down to 10 seconds. And I thought for sure that I lost it because I thought it was way longer than 16 minutes and 40 seconds. So yeah, that was luck.
You know, most matches come down to 3 seconds, right?
That's true.
Unless
you hold on to it
until match that comes to 10.
Hold on to it and put it back up for Survivor Series, which I'll be back in the fold for this one. Let's talk about this. Go ahead.
Is that the first successful title defense that we've had?
Seems like Primo's.
I held it for a long time. Remember?
You got it at the first WrestleMania, then you held it for.
I held it until
SummerSlam.
I held it past that.
You defended it at SummerSlam, and I don't think you lost it until
Survivor Series.
Because
then I won it back at Royal Rumble.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these WWE Extreme Rules results, boys. Talking about the Brawling Brutes and Imperium. Badass match here. The good old-fashioned Donnybrook that the Brawling Brutes ended up winning.
Fantastic.
Yeah, this was awesome. Great opener.
Great. I am becoming more and more a fan of this late career resurgence from Sheamus. He's just killing it out there right now.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the faction. I love the Brawling Brutes. I think they're great. Even Ridge Holland, who I've hated for so long. I was a big fan of this. This is awesome.
Right off the beginning, they haven't even rang the bell yet, I think, and we already see a White Rabbit jumping in the X, purple X again. You know,
yeah, it was there in their entrance.
Yeah, you know, so something was happening there. So yeah, I enjoyed this match. I mean, who doesn't love fucking stiff ass matches, man?
They beat the fuck out of each other.
Okay, so I didn't like this, but I'm not mad at it, but I didn't like it. But Ronda Rousey wins the SmackDown Women's title by submission over Liv. I wanted the women's matches to go the other way. I wanted Liv to retain. I wanted Bayley to take the belt. Storyline, I get it, but let's talk about this one. You guys probably weren't surprised by this, but like I said, I'm not mad at it, but
I was surprised by this.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question there, Dirty. Why did you want Liv to retain?
Just to give her a little more clout, push it out a little bit more, give her a little more title reign, at least a Survivor Series. Survivor Series just being a bigger pay-per-view, I would have, I don't know, maybe been a little more. I don't know. It would have made a little bit more sense to me, but the fact that it was like an Extreme Rules match and they made it out like it was way out of her comfortable, comfort zone or whatever, that kind of stuff. Like I said, I'm not mad at it, but y'all know me. I've said it plenty. I wanted her to go the tag route, which she still could with Shayna and be a double champ, but I don't know. I just want to see Liv go a little bit longer. This, maybe even just a little bit longer with the feud.
If you guys remember when Bayley was still face and she was taking on Alexa Bliss in an Extreme Rules match, it is the exact same storyline. Oh, this is out of my comfort zone, and I don't know if I can do that. Oh, whap, dead.
I didn't think about that, but that's true because Bayley was still kind of in the hugger mode.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. And she refused to hit Bliss with a kendo stick, and it cost her the entire match. So, this is my problem with this match.
I like the whap dead, by the way. Whap dead.
Well, I mean, Bayley is notorious for having fun noises before getting obliterated. In case you guys don't know, one time Bayley was making a save, right? So she's running to the ring, and just gets pancaked out of nowhere. So the joke becomes, I'm coming to save Black! Down. Just annihilated. Didn't even hit the ring. Just Black.
It's very helpful.
But, so Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan, they already gave her 2 wins over Rousey. Like, I don't like Liv Morgan as a champion. I'm sorry to all the Liv Morgan fans out there. She doesn't look like a wrestler. She doesn't look believable. She doesn't have the look. She doesn't have the ability to carry a women's division, where someone like Rousey or Baszler would.
Sure.
So, I don't mind. I bet she's a lovely person. Yeah. But
I'm not arguing that at all. I just want to see the reign go a little bit longer.
No, that's totally fair. I totally get it.
Yeah, like, totally transitional champion.
Yeah, it took him a while to transition that one though. And it transitioned back to Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, it was a transitional champ from Rousey to Rousey.
Yeah, so it's like, what the hell? It had to be a Vince idea they started, and then Vince left, and Triple H was like, okay, let's enough of this. Like, I'm glad she had a belt. She had got the belt, though, and had to run with it. She deserved a shot at it. But, yeah, I prefer the belt on Rousey or Baszler, especially Baszler. I love Shayna Baszler.
I didn't care about this match.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the match. I didn't care about the championship. Whoever won, I was going to be like, all right.
Yeah. Well, what about Karrion Kross beating Drew McIntyre in the strap match?
How long has it been since Drew McIntyre has lost like that?
Like
clean. I mean, it's an Extreme Rules match, but
didn't he get maced? Like, did he get like 6 gallons of mace poured on him?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it was shenanigans for sure.
So when the fireball doesn't work, go with the liquids because it's harder to screw that up.
Yeah, you can control it easier. Fire's just like...
Yep. Here's the problem with the idea of mace. Anyone in the arena would know that's bullshit because they're not all choking and dying in the front row.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Has no one in WWE ever been around like pepper spray or mace? That shit will clear a house out. Like,
yeah. I've been OC certified. It sucks.
Yeah, and then you had the announcers were like, "Is that pepper spray?" You don't have to ask if it's pepper spray. You just know.
Right. Next match was Bianca Belair and Bayley for the Raw Women's Championship. This was a ladder match. What do you guys think? I'm gonna let you guys talk about this one. Bianca retained.
Although it was a good match, and the crowd was definitely behind Belair. Like when she scampered up that ladder, that was a cool crowd reaction.
Philadelphia, we were.
But yeah, I wanted Bayley. But I'm biased because I hate Bianca Belair. I think she sucks. So I was pissed off.
but she has all the initials.
Like, the KOD from the EST. Shut the fuck up.
What I didn't get about this match, and someone please inform me of this, because this is just pure ignorance on my part. Why are we giving away Bayley versus Belair at Extreme Rules? That's at least a Big Four pay-per-view match. That could be a Mania match. Like, I don't understand what exactly they were throwing Bayley right into this program for.
I mean, they knew Roman was
going to put the title on her. Yeah, same.
I just think...
So Bayley never lost the title. She had to forfeit the title because of injury. So maybe they thought that maybe fans would clamor for her to get a title shot ASAP because she never lost, much like Becky Lynch.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean we're going back to repeating storylines though. Like Bayley.
But it's literally what happened to him.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of circumstance.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they have to play it out the exact same way though.
Yeah, it's true. I agree.
I don't know. To me, it's just you've got gold in your hands with Bayley and Belair. Why are we?
That anyways.
Well, I mean, the fans are behind it, so
this was a taste.
It was a really good match too.
It was a good match, and it was like I said, it was a taste, and it's gonna make us want more.
Well, here's the problem with starting something like this in the gimmick match. Where do you go?
Best out of 7.
Iron Woman at Survivor Series or something.
I mean, maybe, but like it's a hat on a hat on a hat at this point. Like,
ooh, hats.
Like, I just don't get it. Starting with the gimmick match. The gimmick match finishes the feud. You know, we've talked about this before several times. Yeah. Like, you can't start in a cage match because where the hell do you go with that feud?
Super cage.
Outside the cage.
All right, so
get into the cage match.
So the I Quit match, Finn Balor and Edge. Edge ended up saying I quit because they were about to concerto. Judgment Day is about to concerto Beth Phoenix, who interfered. And they ended up doing it anyway after he said I quit, which was awesome.
What's funny is after I sent AJ my picks, I was like, fuck. The only way they can get like this is what I was thinking before I even watched Extreme Rules. I was, as a you know, the only way they could get Edge to quit because he's not gonna quit unless they involve his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what happened. I was like, fuck. As soon as I saw Beth, I was like,
I bet you thought that. Hindsight. I bet you did.
Because I was just like, any of us that are married or have a significant other would like.
Did they show her before the match? I didn't notice.
No. No.
Okay, so we didn't know she was there.
As soon as I saw her jump the rail and start attacking people, I was like, well,
yep,
shit.
Edge lost. Yep,
I
me
lost.
too. I was like, uh-huh.
All right, main event was the fight pit between Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins. Seth put his hands on DC Daniel Cormier, who was the special guest referee. Matt Riddle ended up coming out with the win. You guys want to talk about this before we get to Bray?
It's a fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was what I expected to happen. And I thought that number one, some of the fans were chanting to DC, calling him Carl Winslow.
Yeah,
and
I didn't understand that.
I'm like, bro, DC will murder you.
Each and every one of you.
Literally murder you. But no, I did like how like when they did inadvertently or intentionally, one way or the other, have interactions with DC, he was like, put him up against the cage, like, hey. I like that part. The only part that was kind of like was I knew that one of them would do one of their finishers to the other, and they would have to end up in the center of the ring, right? So it was just kind of like there was no, and there's no fault of Seth or anything like that. There was no other way to discreetly grab onto the rail as he was falling down to make it obvious that he was trying to protect his fall.
No, there wasn't. It
got
was just an
RKO'd.
all-out. I'm going to sacrifice how this looks for safety,
Right?
kind of situation.
Yeah. But that's just a stupid minor petty gripe. But it was a good match. I liked it, and this feud can finally be over.
Yes, finally. This is like definitive, right? Like they had the special guest referee, they had the stipulation.
No,
Right.
We just established feuds don't end in gimmick matches anymore.
Hey, this wasn't just a cage, Michael. It was a fight pit.
Yeah, fight pit, not a cage. I do like how I kept thinking in my head, I'm like, in real life, Riddle would just destroy Seth Rollins, like without, like he would just murder him. Which
all right, so
sucks.
After that, Matt Riddle's walking back, and all the lights go out, and we're out of matches, so we knew something had to be coming here, and so we start to see the real life versions of the characters that we used to see in the Firefly Funhouse, the pig, the vulture. Help me out here. The lady,
Rambling Rabbit
had the lady had the veil over her face.
Sister Abigail.
Yeah. And then we seen the Fiend, the guy or a person with the Fiend mask on.
Yeah.
Yes. Dora comes through. Bray comes out with the lantern, and he couldn't hear him because Philadelphia was popping as hard as if the Road Warriors had came out in the early '80s. Because it was a big pop. I mean, it was
huge.
It was pretty damn big. I mean, I always feel like if it kind of crackles the speakers a little bit at the top, or it kind of like fades in and out, it's loud there.
Mm-hmm.
So we see Bray for just like a half a second. He says, "I'm back," blows out the lantern. My goosebumps were through the roof, man. I love creepy shit like this in wrestling. And, and Bray's always been one of my favorites too, man. I'm stoked, man. He's supposed to show up on SmackDown this Friday. What were you guys' reactions seeing Bray?
I went nuts because I love Bray Wyatt. Like I always have. Like even when he sucked, I love Bray Wyatt. Like he's always been like my boy. I always love Bray. And just having him back, like, because we've talked multiple times about how the best spot, we thought that the best spot for him was back in WWE. And to see him back there with Triple H as head of creative, I cannot wait to see what is going to happen. I think it's going to be good television.
Yeah, that's my takeaway from the return. The return was freaking great. Like, you could tell that he had a lot more reign on the artistry and creative of his return. And obviously it's our hope and probably his hope as well going forward that he will have more say so over because he's one of like the most creative minds.
Mm-hmm.
And so it'd be cool to see what he comes up with. Obviously there will be probably some things where they have to reel him in a little bit to make it make sense. But I was losing my shit. Like, it was so cool. Even just to see everybody put up their phones, like the Fireflies, that was cool. I don't know how many times I watched that between then and now. I lost count, honestly.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes into it. The characters, the door. People are saying, well, I mean, it makes sense. You could tell. You could just look at it. The door was a tribute to Brody Lee, is what people are saying.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and also I'd seen somewhere there was a wrestler that did an interview a while back that they said that there's actually on those stage cameras there are microphones dedicated to pick up wrestlers speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be extremely loud for him to be right next to the camera and for us to still not hear him. Like, that's insane, right?
Yeah. You couldn't hear him.
Also, I'm like pretty damn certain that the buzzard was Grayson Waller.
Voila. There, I did it for you.
Voila.
I did it quietly.
Yeah. I was messing with Primo. I said that the pig was Brutus from
everybody. The consensus among the IWC currently is that it's Gacy.
It's got to be, right? That's what I thought. I thought it was Gacy.
It was great. I loved it. I love the creepiness of it. I want to see what Bray looks like. I want to see what his gimmick's going to be like.
Let's talk real quick before we move on of what do we think is the future? Do we think it's the Wyatt Six? Do we think it's a faction? Do we think those characters are gonna stick around? Do we think that was just for the return?
I think it was just for the return.
Where it's still gonna be him solo. He was just portraying what was.
Yeah, I think it was to add drama to the return.
I mean, we're really just guessing at this point because we don't really.
Well, yeah, that's what
other than speculating.
Other than SmackDown, yeah. But I mean,
I think it's like how Taker used to have the Druids. Like they weren't really anything except for spectacle.
Wasn't CM Punk a Druid once?
Yeah, CM Punk was a Druid.
And a gangster.
And a gangster for John Cena.
He's a gangster too.
I don't think they go through all this with the characters and stuff just to use them this one time. So,
I can totally see him doing that.
I think he's going to be somewhat of a, for lack of a better term, oddities circus leader type person with these guys. I'm not going to say they're going to like wrestle but I could see them being used in skits and stuff like that.
I would personally hate that, so I hope they don't do that.
The rabbit looks creepy as shit.
I gotta be honest, I don't necessarily want to see the characters.
No, I don't. I want them to be one of
It depends on how they present them, just like everything else, I guess, in wrestling.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I could change my mind completely next week. Who knows?
Oh, and I probably will, because that's what I do.
Right.
Which you guys will be excited about. One of my mind changes coming up. But we'll get to that.
If they do like spots where Bray kidnaps people and then throws them in like a cold freezer where all the characters are, and then they shut the door and like, I'm joking, obviously, but
I mean, that's kind of
keep talking.
So yeah, right, yeah, right. I know, right. Like some sort of kidnapping gimmick. Yeah. All right, so let's smelly mark it before we go home here. Let's throw Bray Wyatt out. Okay, let's just talk about the card in itself. Period. Because we're all excited about that. The card, minus Bray Wyatt, smelly market, boys. What do you think?
Okay, I don't mind going first. I even told you guys this off, outside the pod. Before Bray's return, I was pretty excited about the pay-per-view overall. I'll be honest, I might give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Like, I feel like that's fair.
So, I actually will agree. So, like 7.5. It was way better than I thought it had any right. Like than a B pay-per-view should be. And it was based just on performances. The in-ring performances were so good. And that's not including Bray. So it's 7.5.
Like I said, the era of Papa H has been awesome. So
far. Where are you at?
I'm going to preface this by saying I've talked about this before with you guys. I'm so goddamn sick of gimmick matches and furniture being broken in wrestling. I'm so sick of it. And to have an entire pay-per-view dedicated to breaking furniture and gimmick shit. Not excited going into it. But I'll give it a 5 out of 10 because you did get Bray Wyatt. And you got to see Finn Balor and Edge. Bayley did well. I like Ronda Rousey. I like a lot of the wrestlers there. Yeah. I'm so goddamn sick of gimmick matches.
I didn't like some of the results. I love the hot start. I'm always a fan of a hot start match, and that one filled the bill. You know what I mean? So I love it. I'm at a 7 for this one. So, but yeah, all fair across the board here.
What about Finn Balor's entrance?
I loved it, but I'm gonna love anything Finn Balor does.
Just the mask was the difference, right?
Yeah, and the music.
And the music was.
Yeah,
it was like a take on his.
It was his music, but it was like slowed down.
It's like more sinister.
And every time it did he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right, well, let's move on, boys. Let's talk about what happened on Raw right after that. So we got Gallows and Anderson back. You guys pop for that at all?
Oh hell yeah!
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Which
didn't,
I
Michael?
didn't.
No.
Like I saw after they dropped the titles on Impact to the Kingdom, I kind of, I was like, I felt like this was bound to happen.
Oh, this caught me completely off guard. I was not expecting this.
Yeah, I'm cool with it, and it gives, because we knew we didn't necessarily want AJ to go to the Judgment Day,
Maybe you didn't.
but I didn't. Not just like the way they were about to do it. Where it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah, okay, I'm in. Yeah.
But
Okay.
then Bailey lost again on Raw after losing at Extreme Rules. Should we be concerned here? Maybe he just came back and you lose an awful lot. I mean, it doesn't say a whole lot.
Is that like going to be her new role going forward?
Lose?
Yeah.
Good job.
putting over other talent?
I mean, she's still in her prime. I don't know why the hell they would think that's a good
Yo,
idea.
Io and Dakota are like, hey, you fucking suck. We're leaving you.
Do you think that's how they turn her face again? Like,
Why would they turn her face again?
why would they turn Edge heel then face in less than 4 months?
Because Cody Rhodes got injured.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes.
I like Bailey better as a face, obviously, but that's just.
Oh, really?
What do you? Yeah, as a hugger. I mean, that's her best gimmick ever.
Do you think she'll ever come back as the hugger?
Yes,
I don't think so.
absolutely. They all go back.
Under Triple H, I could definitely see
Even if it's just for a gimmick match.
The
or
wacky
something,
waveling
she'll go back.
inflatable flailing arm men come back. She
Well,
sliced them up.
Well, think about this. Like,
It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge when she goes back as face.
Triple H got that shit over. Like, he helped her get that shit over. She was so over.
She was super over.
And then she got to the main roster, and Vince was like, wow.
Like,
Vinced all over the place. And
was it?
He vinced all over the place.
Last Monday, whenever she was talking to Bianca, she was like, that used to be me. All the little girls used to wear side ponies. All the little girls used to wear my wristbands and headbands and shit. It's like, that was me.
Honestly,
Right.
The only flaw with that character, the hugger, was the Bailey to belly finisher, which was horrible.
Still one of the worst finishers in the history of finishers.
That was Magnum TA's finisher back in the day.
And it was still awful.
That was Magnum TA back in the day. Like, you're in the world now where, like, the pile driver and the DDT don't do shit to anybody. Like,
Lays out Dreamer at the Impact Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Maurice botch the cake spot?
Yep.
Yes.
Fucking Maurice.
She missed
That
it.
was awful. Yeah, it was awful. This whole segment was kind of awful, really.
It really was.
Lumis.
So, like, when he removed the box, and I was like, what? I was like, Dexter's head's going to be there. And he removed the box, Dexter's head was there.
Mhm.
And the whole crowd wasn't, and they weren't even in it.
No, it was like a collective. It was like a collective sigh. Like all at once, people were like,
They were in Brooklyn, right? Because this was the DX reunion, 25-year reunion.
Which there's one
Sure.
segment of that I really enjoyed because I was a 12-year-old again.
Yeah.
When Shawn Michaels goes, "Hey, look, 4 cocks." That made me laugh.
I know, right?
Some
The
reason.
part that made me laugh was like when Road Dogg booked somebody in a match, I don't remember who, and he's like, do I have the power to do that? And Sean's like, I don't know if you have the power to do that or not. And they go to the commentary, and Corey's like, Road Dogg cannot do that.
Elias is coming back.
Yep, he's supposed to be back this coming week.
Which
go ahead.
I used to like Elias, and now I don't know if I'm going to like Elias again or not.
WWE stands for Walk with Elias.
Who would like to hear Ezekiel speak?
I tell you who's over with me, though. Whoever had the Roman noodle sign. Did y'all see
Yeah,
that?
the
That
Roman
one
noodle.
It's so
Somebody-
simple and hilarious, but funny.
I don't remember who, but somebody on Squared Circle Reddit said that how funny would it be if Elias comes back next week and Kevin Owens comes out because of that whole feud that happened, and then Elias just like no sells it and just was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
What are you
Right,
talking
yeah,
about?
just steps right back into what he was doing.
Yeah.
That would probably it'd be interesting. This is going to be Elias under Triple H's realm. So
Yeah, should be. We'll see.
Here's a question for you all, because you're talking about bringing Elias back, and we've talked about like all these returns coming back. Obviously, that's what returns do. So if you're Triple H, the moment Vince goes bye-bye, and you see the giant pile of shit in front of you that needs to be fixed, like, how at that point do you not just be like, no one can do this, it's impossible?
I mean, I'll tell you, he's doing a pretty decent job of it.
He's doing a great job.
Slowly unraveling the tangled mess.
Yeah,
That's what he did. Is what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a perfect example of that in Austin Theory.
Mm-hmm.
Like Austin Theory has been buried, and I personally like him more than ever. So it's undoing a lot of Vince's nonsense. It's just going to take a little time, but he's doing great so far.
All right, last note for WWE, boys. Seth Rollins, your new United States champion. He beat Bobby Lashley. We got something about that?
Wait. Just what?
Sure.
You're just gonna ignore Brock Lesnar?
Oh, I am. Yeah.
I
was
didn't
angry
know about it. Well, I mean, I figured we'd talk about it after Seth won because that was when Brock come out and softened him up basically for Seth.
Do you want to see my reaction to Brock Lesnar was?
The same thing with Dexter Lumis's head. Just
I'll watch Brock and Bobby though again. Sure.
Yeah, I just don't want to see programming built around Brock Lesnar anymore.
Well, here's the deal. It's a Saudi show. It was just a matter of time. I've been waiting for Brock to show up because it's Crown Jewel.
Yeah, that's true. But I just
this is the show where the
everyone knows everything that's going to happen.
People with the money in Saudi are like, they get to pick and choose. I'm surprised we hadn't seen fucking Goldberg yet.
Actually, that was going to be my next question: is if we see Goldberg before.
Love Goldberg.
But I do think this was cool though because Brock came back after he didn't go straight after Roman, thank God.
Oh my God.
He went after Lashley, and not only that, but he F5 Lashley. And then Seth beat Lashley after like 2 curb stomps and some other shit. It made Lashley look strong as shit, basically.
Yeah,
because he got beat up by Brock, still faced Seth, and Seth won the championship, which, cool. Seth has another championship. That's what we've all been wanting, right? Awesome. Brock and Bobby can now go face off to have that rematch that they didn't, from Royal Rumble that was smozzy. I mean, and they don't have to fight over a stipulation. So I'm cool with it. Like I really am cool with it.
Let's say he was next to Miz. He's a 2-time grand champion now.
Yep.
Seth Rollins
and Miz are the only ones in this category.
He's 2-time Grand Slam.
One of those people doesn't fit in that category. It's the Miz.
I think he does.
Oh, I don't. I think he is. He's not. He's a forever mid-carder. Like he should not have that many championships.
The dude is a fucking like Swiss Army knife. He's been inserted.
Except for the main event. Like you can't put him in the main event because he doesn't do well in the main event. In my humble opinion.
I think he does fine. It's just what the fans are willing to accept.
That's a big part of it, though.
All right, so let's move on to AEW, boys.
Oh, boy.
You guys got anything else to WWE? Any more Brock talk? Any of that stuff? Y'all want to
No.
I'm ready to talk some AEW. Let's talk about AEW.
A few things about NXT, but that's fine.
Yeah, I'll come back. Yeah, I'll come back to it. So
I don't even remember AEW, to be honest.
Let's start with that.
So
I have nothing in my notes.
A rare MJF match on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember now.
That was.
Well, I just remember the only thing I remember.
AEW because y'all are all WWE hyped up right now.
No, I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying, like I've said before, it's the first thing I watch after this pod. So it's the first thing I forget.
That's how it works.
So I'm just saying, I don't ever remember it because I don't write shit down when I'm watching it.
Well, then that's your fault. You should write stuff down. You have a
that
podcast.
MJF is fucking shredded.
Yeah, MJF.
He was. Yeah, he did look solid. He looked
putting
solid.
a lot of work in the gym.
Yeah.
MJF is probably the best wrestler in AEW right now. Like, he's got the whole package, and he's got nothing but potential in front of him. If he stays in AEW for long, I'll be fucking shocked. Like
I think
Triple
he will.
H has got to be knocking on that door soon.
Would you? I mean, you got to.
I mean, I would do
Highest
everything
bidder.
I could to get that guy if I was Triple H.
Yeah.
Yeah, MJF is money. He's
highest
just
bidder.
straight money.
Goes the highest bidder. I tell you what I did like on Dynamite was Hangman and Roosh.
That was a good match.
It was stiff as expected.
Mhm.
I loved it.
I really like Roosh. I'm not the biggest Hangman fan, but I really like Roosh, and I really liked the match. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
You know, a match
couple different styles for sure.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You want to know a match I didn't like?
What?
That tag team match.
Yeah, I didn't care for it either.
I love Daniel Garcia. I love Bryan Danielson, obviously. Chris Jericho is just kind of there. That was horrendous decision making on AEW's part.
Yeah, it just didn't flow well.
Sammy Guevara, it will never be over again, no matter what he does.
Nope.
He is done for because of everything. Like it's not only his on-screen persona. Everyone now knows what a shithead he is backstage too, and it's like you are not CM Punk. You can't get away with being a shithead like that and fucking expect people to still like you. Like he had just go away heat from an entire arena, which is difficult to do.
I don't think CM Punk can either.
At this point, I don't think he can either.
No, I mean I'm fucking done with it.
But no, I hated this. I hated it. And then he got the win. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, I got angry with this.
The Jericho Appreciation Society.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, Jericho was nothing in this match.
Right.
Jericho is usually just a placeholder in most of his matches.
He was neither here nor there. It was all Sammy Guevara and the booking surrounding Sammy Guevara. I hated it. Like, I got angry, and it honestly tarnished. And like you said, Dirty, no one's jumping off the AEW bandwagon, but there's been a leveling out kind of in quality of product.
Sure.
A lot of it has to do with people being like, all right, the fucking drama backstage at AEW is really starting to rub everyone the wrong way.
So annoying.
The buzz is back on WWE with Hunter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you have the product on WWE being so much better. The storyline's so much better, even though Brock's there again, but that's fine. So it's kind of evened out a little bit. And then you have this bullshit where Andrade gets sent home because of a backstage fight, but Sammy Guevara goes on and wins the main event because he was booked for it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, and I honestly...
You know what?
Bothered me.
You know what's crazy? It's like this shit happens in every promotion.
Yeah.
The difference with AEW is they won't stop shoving it down our fucking throats.
Seriously.
I don't want to hear about it.
No. Deal with it and move on.
Yeah, but that's wrestling. Like I said, that's wrestling in 2022. It's social media.
Like,
you know,
that's
they're having
these
it.
fuckers need a babysitter on Twitter.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, but nothing else. They can use it for heat.
Okay,
you know
but
what I mean?
Remember when
that's just wrestling this day and age.
Remember when Chris Jericho got to a fight with Brock Lesnar backstage?
Yeah.
After SummerSlam.
After the Randy Orton thing. Mm-hmm.
2 days later, it was gone. It wasn't a part of a storyline. It wasn't an ongoing Vince every other day. It wasn't like, oh, the investigation is still ongoing. It's like, no, they dealt with it and moved on. That is not the
Sid
case
stabbed Arn.
Yeah.
Sid stabbed Arn.
That's because
and they moved on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This shit has
they
always
will
happened.
too.
That's
They
that's
will
my
too.
point.
Right? Yeah,
This
when
stuff
they
has
will too.
always
We
happened.
just know about it now because
This
it's
is-
out there.
This is
They
the
put it
point
out.
I've been making about AEW since the very fucking beginning here. You were letting the inmates run the goddamn asylum.
True.
Like,
And they're
look at
booking
Sammy,
for the marks too.
Yeah, look at Sammy Guevara and Hangman Adam Page. Both have been nothing but fucking drama and are still featured on TV all the time.
Yeah.
So it's the same problem they've been having from day goddamn one. It's just the chickens are coming home to roost now.
And the thing is too, like, even if it's just a couple people on Twitter blasting drama and shit, and everybody in the morale is actually really good, it's like, why are you letting your fan base see this? You know?
Yeah, like why?
I mean, but the problem is, like, all credible reporting that they have is that morale is not good because it is a fucking shit show in that company. Like, look at who you had in charge for the longest time. You had Tony Khan, who's just like the guy who's in charge of everything, who's clearly way in over his head at this point.
He's a fan.
Yeah, he's a mark. He's Mark, and he's Mark booking all this crap. That's why you have 1,000 stipulation matches nonstop and battle royals to death. It's Mark booking. And then who are your EVPs? You had Cody Rhodes, who got essentially forced the fuck out. We don't know what happened because he had to sign an NDA. You got Kenny Omega, who's nothing but a douchebag, who's been nothing but problems. And then you have the Jacksons, who are, again, nothing but fucking drama and high school cliques. It's a shit show from day one.
And that's the thing, I like
day one.
All of these people as wrestlers, but I could give a shit less who they are in real life. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, then you have to get off social media, because if you scroll and you're a wrestling fan and there's some shit going on backstage or somebody talking about it, that's just where we are. And they're just going to talk about it because there's no such thing as bad press. Correct?
I mean, I agree with that. That's fair.
Sure.
But I think the difference is right now in AEW is, I mean, yeah, whenever anything happens like backstage at any promotion, and there's always stuff that happens backstage at promotions, but AEW is just not letting, like, the higher ups at AEW are just not letting it go. Like Tony Khan, you did not have to come out and say the investigation is still ongoing. You did not have to say that. You volunteered that information. Let it the fuck go.
Right.
Let something else happen.
Like moved on to next week or some shit. And it's like, okay, bring it back to our attention.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the investigation is still ongoing. Did you guys think about that in a while?
Well, fuck. Okay.
I mean, there's
that.
Whole promotion's a clusterfuck. The whole thing's a clusterfuck.
The only thing I thought was funny maybe about Rampage was Arn Anderson is he keeps watching the Varsity Blonde matches. I think that might be his next manager venture. It kind of sounds
whenever they did Ric Flair's last match, Pillman had the new Four Horsemen gimmick. We had with Arn walking with him.
Yeah.
So that'd be neat if they came up with like a New Blood Four Horsemen type deal.
Yep. All right, let's jump to Impact, boys. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just really quick, Ricky Starks continues to be more and more awesome every day. Oh, and the thing that really quick, I forgot that I did want to talk about this. My mind is getting changed. So, National Scissoring Day made me laugh way more than I expected. Anything like that, like the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. It was stupid. Funny. It was stupid and funny. And then I got angry because I found it so funny. But then after the whole thing was over, I was like, "All right,
okay." I gotta show you something next to the 6.5-foot hole over here. Why don't you,
yeah,
come on over. I'll show you.
Is it a cupcake?
Yeah, it's at the bottom. Go down there and go grab it.
I saw this funny meme. It was something like the same guy who was putting over crotch chops 25 years ago is making scissoring funny today.
His whole entire career has been based around his bathing suit area.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, boys. Let's get on to Impact here. Primo's going to read the Bound for Glory results, as basically Impact was just basically a pre-Bound for Glory show.
Yeah, it was just a lead up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and read those results, man, so we can get rolling here with the drop
preview, discussion, if you will. So, we had the Impact Bound for Glory 2022, which is kind of like, as we all know, Impact's, if they had a big 2 anniversary and Bound for Glory would be definitely it. Victory Road might be up there too. But Brian Myers started off, they had the pre-show before the Impact. Brian Myers issued an open challenge for the Impact Digital Media Championship, and it was accepted by appearance by none other than Dirty Dango.
Dirty Dango. How about that?
Yeah.
That was fun.
And the little dance.
Yeah.
Brian Myers, however, retained.
Well, yeah.
Next up, to open the show, we had Raven's Hall of Fame induction. Pretty neat. I mean, I always thought Raven was pretty cool. Quote the Raven, nevermore. It ended with a DDT to Dreamer, like it should have.
Fuck Tommy Dreamer. I loved it.
I mean, I saw that ending no other way. So that works.
Fucking Tommy Dreamer. His t-shirts.
Next up, something we were all very excited about. The Impact X Division Championship, in which Frankie Kazarian defeated Mike Bailey and New.
Oh yeah.
Impact X Division
Called that one, didn't we?
Frankie Kazarian. Hell yeah.
Y'all was pulling for it for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, next up, we had
Hardcore Country.
Sorry, one more time.
Hardcore Country. That's it.
Hardcore Country Mickey James defeated Mia Yim. Rodeo lives on.
Still going.
Calling themselves the Death Dolls, Taya Valkyrie and Jessica Havoc.
I think
Defeated.
it's a stupid name, by the way.
Yeah.
The Death Dolls.
I kind of agree, actually. But they defeated Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships.
Boo.
Then the Kingdom, OGK, Half of Honor No More, whatever you want to call Bennett and Taven, defeated Motor City Machine Guns to retain their Impact Tag titles.
Boo.
Next up, we had the 20-person Call Your Shot gauntlet match. I'm not going to go through all of the entrants, but some of the surprise entrants were Tommy Dreamer, Matt Cardona, and the winner of the match, Calfzilla himself, Bully Ray.
Yeah, I wasn't very excited about this one either.
Not at all.
No.
Next up for the Knockouts World Championship, you had Jordan Grace defeating Masha Slamovich.
I was shocked by this. This shocked me.
Yeah, me too. I was also shocked, and I was like, as soon as I saw, I was like, "Ooh, AJ's not gonna like that."
I was not happy.
Masha's first loss.
Yep.
I mean, at least it's in a
Jordan Grace though, so
it's against Jack Grace.
Championship bout, like
Yeah.
But
if you gotta lose one, go for a title when you're losing it.
I wanted,
right.
I wanted Masha to win so badly. I did.
It wasn't some rando match to Emma or whatever her name is now.
No, it was to Jack Grace.
Yeah.
So
and in the main event, we had Josh Alexander retaining the Impact World Championship as he defeated Eddie Edwards, and the show ended with like an honor no more whole fucking beat down thing. But at the very end, it was Bully Ray staring down Josh Alexander.
Fuck right off.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh wait, no. So the fun thing about that is,
have you considered?
I like him coming back, but why in this?
And so I liked him. I was one of the 5 people in the world that liked. Alexa, stop. But I was one of the 5 people in the world that liked the Aces and Eights, and enjoyed his Impact World run 10 years ago. And what I have to say about him is a return.
Mispronounced that. It's actually Aces and.
Yeah, what I was gonna say was his return now to face Josh Alexander is more like. I gotta agree with you guys. I do agree with you.
Yeah, man. Like, come on, let's move on from that era. Let's don't go back there. We did it already. Unless Josh is gonna squash him, then I'm up for it.
There's no way Josh loses to Bully Ray.
Loses to who?
If he didn't lose to if he didn't lose to Eddie Edwards, he's not gonna lose to fucking Bully Ray.
I really enjoyed that 3 minutes, everyone.
It was.
I'm gonna post it and tag him on Twitter.
Bing bong.
It might get us some exposure on his podcast.
Yeah, when he buries us.
Yeah, right. Hey, well, they'll say our name. Say my name.
Oh God.
All right.
You know what happened Saturday?
What?
Little break for you. Fucking Texas Longhorns beat Oklahoma 49-0.
Is that in like tennis?
We shut them out. Huh?
What's their record?
In the tennis match?
No.
Wait, was this?
You hadn't talked about Texas until this game. Why not?
Are they like really bad? Are they like super
they're
bad?
not.
They're like 1 and
Asking
4.
what the record
we're
is.
ranked 22 in the nation.
What's your record?
Like 4-2. We're not
2
bad.
losses?
It's a winning record. Yeah, we lost
Right.
to Tech, and we lost by 1 point to Alabama by a safety that we were robbed of. So
So
Here we
there's
go.
no safeties in cricket.
I don't even know how to play that game.
You see, you got these wickets.
I don't think we have cricket in Texas.
Anything
We have
else for Bound for
crickets. We
Glory?
have crickets in Texas for sure.
Oh yes.
All right, let's move on if you guys are ready. It's time
Yes.
for the Dropkick discussion
Yes.
of the week. We're going to talk our top 5 favorite mass wrestlers. Primo, let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Havens, the Argyle assassin himself, giving them all the shivers.
This is the one and only Mike Hartbauer.
This is Face Jesus Billy Starks.
This is referee Dan Perch.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. You can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
You're listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
Come celebrate pro wrestling right here on the Sit Down Marks podcast.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With Primo, DB, and AJ.
And you're listening to TV, Primo, AJ, here on the Sit Down Marks podcast, the best podcast for professional wrestling.
All right, so today we're going our top 5 favorite mass wrestlers that
Hell
we
yeah.
have been entertained by, that we love growing up or enjoy
Lucha
at
Daddy,
this
number one, baby.
moment in time. So we're going to go from 5 to 1 with everybody mentioning a couple little honorable mentions.
I got you.
Here. Primo, you want to kick us off, man?
Yeah, I do. Lucha Daddy is in there, baby, with the top 5
It's your
mass
people.
wrestlers. And my people.
Lucha Daddy's itchy.
My honorable mentions. I'm sorry.
Lucha Daddy's itchy titty.
I'm in there.
Lucha Daddy's in there, baby. Don't you worry about what Lucha Daddy's doing.
Oh, man.
Lucha Daddy used some new soap. Lucha
My
Daddy's
honorable
breaking out on his
mentions of
titties.
masked wrestlers. Kane, Psychosis, Abyss, Prince Puma, King Cuerno, and Mil Muertes. Those 3 are from Lucha Underground.
Nice.
Yes, they are.
Psychosis,
Very
really?
good.
My number 5, though.
Kick us off.
Japanese wrestler, world renowned, one of the greatest under the mask, Jushin Thunder Liger.
Good pick. Good
Legendary mask right there. Everybody knows who that is.
I'm currently looking at him right now. Right there.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah. Very nice. Good pick. Good number 5. AJ, you want to go next?
Yes, I will go next. I have a couple of honorable mentions, just 2 actually. I have Abyss and Kane. And so there was a question. Actually, never mind. It doesn't matter because it's irrelevant to this list. My number 5, the Blue Blazer.
Oh,
Love the Blue
that's
Blazer.
a good one.
That is a good one.
I especially
good
love
one.
the Blue Blazer when
Fair
Coco
enough.
Beware played him for.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Right.
Still one of the funniest things ever.
Still
but-
flapping.
Yeah. Kayfabe wasn't supposed to know it was Coco.
He was still flapping. But no, Owen Hart is a Blue Blazer. Fucking
Wow.
ahead of his time. It's fucking awesome.
Excellent pick.
Michael, go ahead, buddy. Number 5.
Honorable mention, number 1 for me is going to be, and this is just because I didn't get to see enough of it when it was on, Tiger Mask. I didn't get to see enough Tiger Mask, so that's why he's an honorable mention and not in the top 5. So just caveat on that one, everybody. Number 5 for me, stand back. There's a hurricane coming through.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
yeah, man,
nice.
The hurricane. Fucking love the hurricane.
Jesus, Shane Helms. Who knew that he had a character as great as the Hurricane in him?
Him and the
What's up with
Rock's-
that?
Him and the Rock's feud were fucking fantastic.
Oh my god. When he tried to choke slam Stone Cold and Triple H.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. And he was like, it's a phone call for you.
I love them. And Mighty
It's
Molly
nothing.
and
Yeah.
Rosie was his SHIT, his superhero in training.
In training, yeah. His shit. Yeah. All right, so to kick off my number 5, I'm going to start you off with some honorable mentions. The Blue Blazer was said. Tiger Mask was said. Big Van Vader, and also Rey Mysterio. But there's
Ray's an honorable, huh?
Yeah, Ray's an honorable. I go by who entertains me, who I've enjoyed, as a masked wrestler, as you'll see my list once I start to unfold it. But to kind of date myself here, 2 other guys that didn't make mentions, and this would pop my dad, Mr. Wrestling number 1 and 2. Okay. Mr. Wrestling 1, just a small little quick story. He was from the 1970s. Okay. Mr. Wrestling. His name was like Mickey Woods, something like that. So famously, he was on the same airplane as Ric Flair when it went down. And he ended up retiring. He died of a heart attack back in early 2000s, I believe. But he had a great gimmick. He got hurt, and so he wasn't able to continue with the gimmick. So later on down the road, Florida Championship Wrestling came up because Mr. Wrestling had gotten over. They came up with Mr. Wrestling 2. Now, both these guys, they wore a white mask with white singlet, right? Okay. Well, the only difference one was Mr. Wrestling number 2 had black around his eyes on his mask. And then they booked him as Mr. Wrestling's long lost partner from like years ago. Anyway, like pops me because that's kind of stuff Dad used to teach me about. But those are in my honorable mentions. But my number 5 is a guy that just entertains me big time. He's still entertaining us today. He's just not wearing the mask. It's El Generico at number 5 for me.
Okay, yeah, all right.
So I watched so much of that era when him and Steen, where we're hot on the indies, and yeah, I mean that's what I knew him as before. He's evolved to what he is now. So so my number 5, El Generico. Primo, number 4.
My number 4 is somebody so talking about entertaining. He was not only athletic but also had his times where he was comedic and entertaining. That was none other than the chairman. No, not Sean Spears. La Parka.
The Polka. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You turd.
For sure. He's a WCW luchador legend to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He was a fat white guy who played a chair as an instrument.
So entertaining.
Yeah, like I said, entertaining. Yeah,
over.
Exactly. Yeah.
He just fucking got over, right? Like we
loved it.
And
he had a skeleton suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he strutted. Best. He strutted. He danced. Yeah. Right.
It was
simple.
It was great.
Simple.
Love it.
Simple. Just got over. We'll talk about him again later on my list.
Yes, we will.
All right. Go ahead, AJ, number 4.
My number 4, the first masked wrestler I ever loved as a kid, Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah.
He came over from Japan and it was in WCW, and he was, cruiserweight champ like 50 times. I loved it. He's so smooth, so fast.
Yeah.
He should have been higher on the list, but someone else on the list kind of knocked him down a little bit. So yeah, number 4, Ultimo Dragon. Fucking love him.
Michael?
Yeah, my number 4 is actually Ultimo Dragon too. Exact same reason. Yeah, he's fucking awesome. Smooth as silk in the ring. It's so entertaining to watch. So yeah, AJ said it all. There's my number 4, Ultimo.
Yeah, he was one of the first guys too. Like when I was watching, learning New Japan Pro Wrestling, guys that does the flips. He's one of the guys that did a bunch of the flips on the entrances and that kind of stuff. So yeah, solid pick there. My number 4 is I played a little bit with the category here. Okay, so my number 4 is just because I just remember this storyline so much as a kid. Dusty Rhodes got beat up all the time. He was always the baby face, but when he put the black on and the mask across his eyes, he became the Midnight Rider. So and then he could do the heel tactics and be dirty, and we were supposed to kayfabe not know that it was Dusty Rhodes. It was like Mr. America with Hulk Hogan. It was just done a long time ago.
Oh my God.
Same gimmick, dude. Yeah, it was awesome.
I totally forgot that existed.
Yeah.
And I'm really
happy
sad that
birthday
I forgot.
yesterday, by the way, Dusty Rhodes.
That's fantastic.
Wow, he has the same birthday as my son. Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool, man. But I always remember that as a kid. I always remember that, like, I'm sitting there looking at my dad as a kid going, that's Dusty Rhodes. That's Dusty Rhodes. Dad goes, no, it's not. It's the middle.
It's like my generation's Mr. America.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah. So Dusty could be dirty if he was the writer.
Did Dusty also like lift up the mask and go?
And like Crockett couldn't figure out who the hell it was. And
who is that masked man? His muffler falls out and
Never
they still
fear,
don't know.
baby. It's Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Yeah.
My
All
muffler
right, number
fell
4.
out.
Let's go top 3 here, Primo.
Top 3. So this is gonna be the only one on my list from the modern era.
Okay.
Let me tell you, this guy
Luchasaurus.
as my
I will kill all of you right now.
Well, everybody run then, because
That's what I hope Michael would say.
I know.
So just like my number 1 used to just freaking
We're all getting buried.
Yep.
amaze me as
It's
a
gonna
child.
warm up here. All right.
as an adult 33-year-old man, this guy, I watch him do some things where I'm just like, if he's on TV, I stop and watch, and that is Rey Fenix.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, Phoenix is good. He's real good.
He's probably the best masked right now, honestly. Like,
I mean, he's no
Yeah,
dinosaur, but
right.
Maybe if he was, he'd be on more people's list.
Well, I
Great
mean,
pick, though.
Luchasaurus.
Great pick.
Luchasaurus.
Great pick. AJ, who's your number 3?
Wait, so Michael, you have a problem with Luchasaurus, but you're okay with Ultimo Dragon? They're
he's
both
not an
reptiles.
actual dragon.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do. He
Actual
wasn't
dragon.
billed as an actual dragon.
The Ultimo Dragon.
No, like Ricky, Steamboat wasn't an actual steamboat either. So Luchasaurus is billed as a fucking dinosaur.
Was it an actual steamboat?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, my number 3 is Laparca because he's awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
Laparca's entertaining. He's pretty
Yep.
entertaining.
We've already talked about him. He did that little knee dance too, which was
Oh,
so
yes.
stupid.
Yeah, he did the polka.
God,
Everything
so
he did.
entertaining.
Again, fat white man in a skeleton outfit playing a chick.
He's
Fucking.
Did you know there's like 5
Wrestling.
Laparcas in AAA right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's so many Laparcas.
Oh, yeah.
And it's amazing.
It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
he should be.
Yes,
That's flattery.
every
right
single
there.
one is gold.
You got us number 3, Michael.
Number
Luchasaurus.
3 is number 3 is the legendary Mankind.
Ooh.
I don't even think you need to start by saying all the shit that Mankind did.
Sure.
Just so important to wrestling, so undercredited because everyone's like, "Oh, he got me into hardcore wrestling." It's like, no, he was actually fucking talented. You're a tit with a fucking glass tube. There's a big
tit.
difference.
You tit?
Yeah, Mankind, Mick Foley, fucking awesome. He was great. I loved his character. Even before he became like corporate Mankind, he had the boiler room brawl with Taker. Dude's fucking fantastic. Talented as all hell. Love him.
For sure. My number 3 jumps back again to my WCW roots. This guy, a little bit of a jobber in the WCW days. He just passed not long ago. We talked about him long ago in this one, but on the pod. But mine was the Patriot at number 3. Yes, he was what I known as like the American wrestler, not hero, I guess to speak, but just babyface, got beat a lot, got a nice little push. He was one of the masked wrestlers, first masked wrestlers I remember as a kid. Just watching so much NWA wrestling, he was a big part of it. So my number 3 is the Patriots. Primo, number 2.
My number
down
2 has already been said multiple times already. But I gotta say, I was the WWF kid. My older brother was WCW, and he's the one who introduced me to these next 2. And I will never forget the first time I saw that springboard acai moonsault. So Ultimo Dragon was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I was just, as a little kid, I was just like glued. I couldn't, Ultimo Dragon, hands down, my number 2.
Awesome. Love it. AJ?
So my number 2 is, I've said since we started this show that if this man is in a match, it is the best match on the card. It's Rey Fenix. He's phenomenal. He does things in the ring that no one else can do.
He's so freaking good.
It's amazing.
Yep. No arguing there. He should be on my list. I had too much history with all the rest of my 5.
Yeah.
Well, Mankind should be on mine, but he's not.
Right.
Mankind was on my list last week. We're the scariest
that's true.
wrestlers.
Michael, who you got?
Number 2 is the Big Red Machine, Kane.
Burr.
Nice.
And his big red nipple.
And his big red nipple.
Big Red Mayor of Knoxville.
Yeah, fucking Kane. He was phenomenal. He was so good as a big man. I loved when he didn't talk. He just did the head tilt, the Michael Myers stuff. He had great feuds, great matches, well decorated.
No sell the chair shot.
Yeah, and then it turns out not only can he speak, but he's fucking great on the mic too. So
He's an intellect.
Glenn Jacobs was the fucking total package, man.
I'm actually surprised.
I'll even take Christmas Creature, Glenn Jacobs. Give me all that Glenn Jacobs.
What about Dwight Yankum?
Isaac Yankum.
Whatever.
You need to get your head out of the Luchasaurus
DDS.
sphere, all right?
You're thinking Dwight Yoakam.
My head is firmly in the Lucha butthole.
When I first started listening to dirt sheets and biographies and reading books and shit about wrestlers, and how when I very first learned about Kane being one of actually the nicest and smartest guys in the back, I was just like, what? Because he was already one of my favorite wrestlers anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, that's insane because it's total night and day, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's fucking incredible. So yeah, Kane's my number 2. I always love
Mayor
Kane.
of Knox County.
Yeah.
With his big red nipple.
My number 2, big fat white guy that plays the chair. that dances. It does the knee knocker thing. Fucking La Parka. Yeah, like total hilarity. Just, I cannot not have him as much as he entertained me during the Nitro era. Like, yeah, pop me every time. Awesome.
Wait, I think AJ just did the Charleston. I'm not sure.
That was the Carlton.
Come on over, say how do you do?
All right, let's go all the way to 1 here, Primo. Start us off. Number
5 to 1. I had number 5, Jushin Thunder Liger. Number 4, the Chairman La Parka. Number 3, Rey Fenix. Number 2, Ultimo Dragon. And number 1, regardless of any of our opinion, he may go down as the best masked wrestler ever. And that is Rey Mysterio.
No, it's pronounced Luchasaurus.
Yeah, no, but like legit, Rey Mysterio was easily one of my favorites in WCW. There's just so, I mean, I just same thing with Ultimo. Like just watching him, I would just be freaking stuck to the TV. And all the cool things. Like I mentioned, Rey Fenix doing things today that I've never seen before. That was Rey in the 90s. Doing all the things that all of the high flyers and luchadors and others do these days, that some of these things Rey Mysterio created.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he's going to go, regardless of anybody's individual opinion, he's probably going to go down as one of, if not the greatest luchador of all time. Rey Mysterio is my number 1.
Okay. So, my number 5, Blue Blazer, both Owen Hart and Coco Beware. Number 4, Ultimo Dragon. Number 3, La Parka. Number 2, Rey Fenix. And number 1, so not only, in my opinion, is he like the best like luchador, he's also the best dinosaur. And that's
You're not serious.
No, it's Rey Mysterio. Like, of course.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I was a smaller child, as Michael can attest. And Rey Mysterio was tiny. And I was like, oh, hey, he's tiny. I'm tiny. I want to be Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
So I used to try and like do backflips on like moonsaults and stuff off the couch. A lot of the times I would make Michael be my guinea pig. And don't worry, he made me pay for it when I was older. Like I pay my dues. But no, he's like for kids who, especially like small kids like me, fucking Rey Mysterio was the best of the best of the best. And he's still at the age of like 54, he's still pretty decent. So yeah, I agree with Primo. He's going to go down as like the best masked wrestler of all time, in my opinion, and Primo's opinion.
Yep.
Michael.
Well, number 5 for me was Hurricane. Number 4 is Ultimo. 3, Mankind. 2, Kane. And number 1, you could say he's the best dinosaur of all time.
Hell yeah, I knew you'd come around.
But you won't because he's fucking garbage. The best wrestler in a mask ever is Rey Mysterio Jr. It's
Sure.
no contest. No one comes close.
Sure.
Maybe Jushin Thunder Liger, maybe Tiger Mask, but Western American pro wrestling and luchador Mexican wrestling, there's no one's fucking close. It's Rey Mysterio Jr. He's amazingly good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even. You guys have already said it all, so yeah, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Now I want to remind you, you guys are saying best masked wrestler of all time, which that's fine, but the category was favorite.
Oh, he's also my favorite.
Oh, he's also my favorite.
Also my favorite. Yeah, 100%.
Well,
He's the best because that's what I think. That's why.
I'm just saying that before I get to mine because I'm not saying that he's the best in the world. He's not.
That's what I said. Regardless of what everyone thinks.
If there's an actual dinosaur,
I thought you meant opinion.
Is it a Moon Man, perhaps? Is his name Max? Moon.
Does he have a rocket pack?
No, well, definitely my favorite.
He might. Yeah, he might.
Is he a man or tar, by any chance?
No, he is not.
A man and or tar?
From 5-1 for me, El Generico, the Midnight Rider, the Patriot, La Parka. My number 1 mass wrestler of all time was a guy from Spartanburg, South Carolina, moved to Forest. He was billed out of Forest City, North Carolina. He wore a mask, a black and gold mask. He was called the Masked Assassin, which would be my father.
What?
Yeah, he wore a mask. That was when it was his gimmick, is he wore a mask.
I didn't know his dad wore a mask.
Yeah. He was called the Masked Assassin.
So
Yeah. He did. He wore a mask probably 3/4 of the time in his very, very, very short wrestling career. But no, this is a joke. He's not my real number 1. But I don't know if you guys knew that.
I did not know
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wore a mask because he was a talent enhancer. He was a jobber. Is what
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
awesome.
still, that's fucking awesome.
My dad wears a sleep apnea mask.
Yeah, does that count?
To my kids, I'm Lucha Daddy, and I wear a mask, but I never wrestled.
I know.
Yeah, it was a very short, about 8-month career, like we've kind of briefly talked about before. But getting back to my list though, this one you guys was probably going to catch you a little off guard. Primo did mention him, but I've always liked, shocker, the heel guys, right? The heel guys with the mask. And from the very first time I seen Mil Muertes on Lucha Underground, I was like hooked on loving like the way he was presented, the whole gimmick of his. And the first time I seen him do the flatliner, it was so simple, but I loved it. It looks like a rock bottom, but he face plants them instead of going on their back.
He's so awesome.
Yeah, so awesome. A Puerto Rican Aztec Underground, a guy which, once Lucha Underground folded, I thought he would kind of be one of the first guys I would see get picked up somewhere. But I've always liked the way he's presented. I love, he's just a big, masked, wrestler. I kind of
he's a big dude.
Love that. Yeah, definitely. And I love that kind of, like I said, the way he was presented on Lucha Underground.
I really liked how when they first came in, like when they introduced him, because he was in season 1 of Lucha Underground. Like, so he was one of the original cast, and he was like unstoppable.
Yeah. I love the feathers, the big gowns, and stuff he would wear.
I don't remember who the chick that was with him, though.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Yeah. He'd have a staff sometimes, like a lord.
She had like a stone or something.
Yeah. It was dope. But I've always been a big fan of his.
Luchasaurus.
I have to kind of look up, to catch him. He was on MLW, to catch some of his stuff now. But I've always been a big fan of his. Like I said, I love masked heel wrestlers when they're, when it's done right. And I really was hooked on Lucha Underground once I saw Mil Muertes.
Fun fact: one of my others from Lucha Underground that I said earlier, King Cuerno, that's Santos Escobar.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, is it really?
And Prince Puma is Ricochet.
I knew that one.
Swerve was Killshot.
Yep. Yeah.
A lot of people.
I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Yeah. Johnny was there. Of course, one of his iterations of himself.
Johnny
Mundo.
Cross.
Was he Mundo there?
Yeah, Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo, and you had Cross as the dude. He had the beard. Yeah.
You know that Excalibur's just dying inside right now, right? Like, no one is mentioning.
He's not on any of our list.
Yeah,
nope,
he's like, I wear a mask every week.
Best masked commentator.
Yep.
Still not Excalibur.
Vampiro.
All right, so that's going to do it for the Drive of the Week. Next week, we're going to debate the AEW roster versus the WWE roster, and we're going to debate who we think has the best roster as of right now. So make sure you guys tune in for that. If you guys are ready, man, let's head on over to Promo School. We got that promo like I talked about. Now, this was 1991. Tuesday in Texas was the show that was on. This was the promo after the snake had bitten Randy Savage on the arm that we all infamously seen and watch here. So a bunch of times. So this was kind of one of those, creepy Jake the Snake promos. He's not too worried about Randy so much after the snake got a hold of him. So a cool promo here from Jake the Snake Roberts in today's edition of Promo School.
Randy Savage is wired to the max. He cannot wait to get you into the ring.
So what? As cold as a razor blade, as tight as a tourniquet, like the skin on a dying man. Randy Savage, the last time I seen you, you were flailing like some helpless child, drowning. Drowning from what? Drowning from the very poison that was running through your veins after that snake had chewed on that arm. For some time, he did chew. Now, you look at my eyes, Randy Savage, and you see two black holes in the sky. But you look at that snake eyes, and you'll see something so cold and so devilish and so deliberate. Yes, he takes care of what he has to, does what he has to, just like me. Your eyes weren't even there, man. You were out. You were gone. But you know whose eyes I enjoyed the most? Do you? Elizabeth. Pupils so small, so intent, so scared for the man that she loved. And what a rush I got, man. Up and down my back. It felt so good. My hair felt like it was tingling. I mean, I had goosebumps all over my body listening to you squeal for a man that could not do anything but flail around. Couldn't help himself at all, And see, the thing about Jack Tunney barring the snake from the corner, let me tell you something, Jack Tunney. When I was brought into this world, I could not rob, I could not steal, I could not lie, I couldn't even cheat. But boy, did I have some help learning. You have taught me so well. So you see, it is not my fault, anything that I do out there. You have given me the right to. You have almost pushed the button to make me do it. You have pulled the trigger. So anything that I do is your fault. Snake in the corner? Trust me. Trust me.
Another classic one there. Does that not give you goosebumps? That's creepy as shit.
It's one of my favorite all-time promos. For some time, he did chew. Like, who talks like that? Yeah. Fucking brilliant.
Oh, man. Yeah, just on another level he was when it came to promos. All right, you guys are ready, man. Let's jump on over. It's time to have a little fun here. Let's see if you guys can take out AJ in another edition of Last Man Standing. Hit that game show music, Primo.
I'm gonna fucking hit it already.
That's my intro.
Hello, lady.
No.
Yeah. All right, today's game edition for episode number 85 is Last Man Standing. AJ is the current man on top of the mountain right now as the last man standing. He is currently running as undefeated. How this game works is I give the boys a category and they try to name all the people or answers to the question that they can, and the last man standing ends up winning here at the end.
Does that mean I won the interim championship whenever it was just me and Michael because AJ wasn't here?
No, because I still won because I was still answering the questions, even though I wasn't present.
Oh, no, I'm not a big fan of interim titles, as I've said. All right, so today's category, boys. If you guys are all ready, get into position. I'm gonna give you today's category. I'm going to give you just about 10, 15 seconds here to think about it before we get started. AJ is the champion, so he's going to get the softball toss to kick us off here. All right, so today's category, guys. Between 2008 and 2016, we had the WWE Divas Championship title. There were 17 different champions during that era. Divas Championship title. I'm going to give you about 15 seconds. You're going to be naming former Divas Championship title holders. 17 if you guys can get through them. AJ, whenever you're ready to kick that first one out, we'll get started.
Let's go with the very first. Actually, no, let's save the very first in case you guys don't know it. We'll go with Nikki Bella.
Nikki Bella, correct. Primo.
Paige
is correct. Michael.
AJ Lee.
AJ Lee is correct.
I set you up for that.
AJ.
Charlotte Flair.
Of course. Primo.
Lay Cool.
I need a more specific answer, sir.
Michelle McCool.
There you go.
Michelle McCool is correct. Michael.
Lita.
I'm sorry, can you say that again, please?
Lita?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Michael, you have been disqualified. Lita not on the list of former WWE Divas Championship holders.
Oh, shucks.
Divas. All right, down to Michael and AJ. AJ, back to you, sir.
Sasha Banks.
Ooh. Not on the list either. Primo,
Really?
You can take the win if you can come up with an answer here.
You know, when they converted to the women's championship, it was Charlotte that held the Divas Championship.
Right.
I already said Charlotte.
Already been said.
Yeah.
Everyone's
No, I was saying because he was saying Sasha Banks. That's not my answer. My answer.
Oh, yeah.
My answer is I lost it 2 seconds ago. One moment. Mickie James.
Of course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean?
Alrighty.
I'm sorry.
That means
Hardcore country.
that means we got a new last man standing. It is Primo. Congratulations, sir, and I believe it's your first run as last man
Lucha
standing.
Daddy obliges.
I thought y'all would do way better than this. The ones y'all
Also,
left
is Caitlyn on there?
let me run down the ones that y'all left on the table.
That's another one I was going to say.
Maurice, Jillian Hall, Melina, Eve Torres, Alicia Fox, Natalia, Brie Bella, Kelly, Beth Phoenix, Layla, and Caitlin.
Ooh, Beth Phoenix was a good one. Why would you think we would do well on that list?
Layla.
Why would you think
you
we'd
wouldn't
do
let
well
me
on
have
that
cool.
Michelle McCool.
No, wouldn't let you have
They
both.
split the title in half.
Right. Right, but no.
They literally
I need single people here. Yep. Just some fun little facts here too.
I won, so
Divas title was Vicky Guerrero was the GM of SmackDown in 2008 when the Divas title was created. Eve Torres and AJ Lee tied with 3 reigns each as Divas champion. Nikki Bella had the longest run at 301 days, and Jillian Hall had the shortest reign. Anybody want to guess?
1 day.
Let's say less than a day. Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, a butterfly in the belt.
5 minutes. She was 5 minutes champion.
5 minutes.
Yes, she was the shortest one ever.
Did she lose to Santina?
I'm not sure. I'm sure it was one of those schmazzy matches.
Oh, was Santina won, or Santina won something else? Like
Santina won the first Women's Royal Rumble. Yeah.
And then
congratulations, Primo.
First Women's Money in the Bank.
Congratulations, Primo. New last man standing champion, sir.
First loss. I had an Undertaker like streak going for last.
All good things must come to an end. We'll see what happens again next month. You can try to get it back.
Yeah. Oh, I will.
All right, Primo, if you're ready, man, let's hit that Triple H music from good old Lemmy and see if AJ is still the king of the mountain.
Time to play the game!
I love how you cut it off just right. Done.
All right, AJ, so you are the current king of the mountain with a streak of 5. Coming in to this week, we had chose between Lord Navy Midshipman, who reminded me of Tugboat, versus Tulsa, the Golden Hurricane, who reminded me of the Hurricane, obviously. Primo and I went with Tulsa Hurricane. AJ went with Navy. Final score, Tulsa 21, Navy 53.
It was so bad. That's such a college football score.
Yes, it is.
So AJ continues the streak. He is up to 6 now on the King of the Mountain. Nice, sir. 6.
That's gonna, you know, that we're gonna be close to 100 episodes before anyone can catch me on. I'm
telling you. I'll tell you this. I'm pigeonholing you this week. So whoever you take, I'm taking. I don't care. I don't even know who it is. All right, so let's talk about who we're going to pick from this week, boys. Let's talk a little NHL hockey. How about Friday night, 9:30 Central Time, 10:30 on the East Coast? We got the Carolina Hurricanes, which I saw Carolina and I thought, oh, Justin Roberts always introduces Omega from the buffet. All right, so the Carolina Hurricane Kenny Omegas versus the San Jose Sharks. I mean, come on, right? Like Shark Boy, right? I mean, come on. All right, Primo. I'm sorry, AJ. The home team is San Jose. I'll let you know that much. So you going with the Omega Carolina Hurricanes or the Shark Boy San Jose Sharks?
So I know that San Jose had a fantastic year last year. Carolina sucks. So we're going to go with the San Jose Sharks.
Okay, me too. Sounds good.
Might as well end this. We're all agreeing with that. That's who I was going to go with too.
All right, so we're all Shark Boys this week. Good job, though, continuing that streak up to 6.
Man.
6. That's a month and a half of
keeping it going, man.
Now I'm now like looking up on the mountain.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, hi, Primo.
You knocked me down, and I'm like halfway between the bottom and the middle.
Well, either next week the streak is over, or we're all
start from scratch.
We're all at least going to. Me and you at least have one.
Yeah.
Against
to
7.
To my 7.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, AJ, it's time for your segment, man. Let's see what you got for us today.
AJ's smelly old Mark yells at clouds of the week.
I'm intrigued.
So, as we have spoken of earlier, Last weekend was the auspicious debut of ring announcer Dirty Bird, fucking weird ass German last name. And I thought that we should just take a moment to appreciate some of his more outstanding calls that he had in the ring. Let's listen.
No kidding.
Oh, are you having a blast or what? Let me tell you something. We're just getting started, baby. Let's keep this thing rolling. Presenting from the Lucha Lounge in San Juan, Puerto Rico, the 2010-2011 Mr. He's the most entertaining and interesting luchador in pro wrestling. Lucha!
Yeah! I did not know you had these clips.
So,
Hell yeah.
I thought that we should take a moment to truly appreciate the fact that you knocked it out of the fucking park at Dreamwave.
Proud of our boy.
Oh,
yes.
Oh,
We
y'all
need to
are
acknowledge
warming
that.
my heart right now, man.
Because that
Let me
was
tell you, you introducing Lindsay Dorado like he's Brock Lesnar. I tell you what.
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, it was like that all night too.
And
I mean,
let-
not like
not
everything
only
like Brock
critique
Lesnar.
It's not of you, DB. AJ, how fucking windy was it there? Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god, it was windy as shit. We were in the middle of a parking lot, and it's just nuts.
Not a tree to be seen.
How come whenever I get that animated, you yell at me?
That's our gimmick.
no, excellent job, DB.
Yes.
Thank you, brother.
Very well done. Very
I
well
feel
done.
Thank you, man.
A big congratulations are in order. You knocked it out of the park. So enough comedy aside, let's it was fucking awesome. It was absolutely amazing. Anyone listening who needs an internet or a ring announcer for their promotions or whatever, here's your man right here. Fucking killed it.
Thank you, brother. That was awesome. I didn't know you were going to do that. That was cool. I didn't know you had access to those clips. Yeah, that was awesome.
I filmed
surreal.
them.
Surreal. Yeah, it was
It
awesome.
makes sense now. Man who films clip has clip.
So there was one, like we didn't talk about this. There was one when after Sir Murderhawk came out where DB like ran away from him because Sir Murderhawk gave him the old like I'm gonna come after you if you don't get out of my fucking way.
Yeah, we locked eyes.
He did.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
To all the smelly marks out there, I can attest that Dirty is not a small man. He's actually quite a large fella.
Right.
He's like
standing
6'7", like 900 pounds of hate. Like, you know, just
Your heel host.
Right.
No, I also like the part. If you actually, for any of you out there, go and look at the Dreamwave YouTube video of Lindsay Dorado and Fuego del Sol. I thought it was hilarious when Lindsay had you in the corner dancing on you.
Yeah, dancing on you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great. He jumped up there and he like fixed my tie and all kind of stuff too.
Uh-huh.
And what was funny is he dropped his Undertaker gloves like off of the side, you know what I mean? And like the wind immediately picked up and swooped one away, like, you know. And he goes, "Make sure somebody finds my glove." Yeah, that was good stuff, man. That was awesome. Thank you, sir.
No, it was great. Great.
That was good stuff. Yeah, I have the bug now. Yeah, I cannot wait to do it. October 29th, can't get here fast enough. It's
Yeah, man.
a
After
blast.
watching that and after seeing those clips AJ was sending me all weekend, I was
It
like,
was
man,
awesome.
is he gonna have a voice for the pod? He's going hard, man.
Yeah,
Getting after it.
I was drinking a lot of hot tea that day.
I'm
to-
sure you
to
were.
where I was in tune. So, yeah, that was fun though. That was a good time. Good time. All right, good stuff. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate that, brother. Let's move on. Primo, it's time to go home, man. Hit that Sammy Beal. Let's see what he's got for us.
This is the crock rockin', nickelback poppin', curls for all the girls, the Perminator, Sam Beal. And I am on the Sit Down Marks podcast, and we're going to get some perfection today, baby.
Baby. Speaking of baby, we have baby clothes. That's right, we have merch, everyone. You can get that merch at www.tpublic.com/stores/sit-down-marks. You can get t-shirts, hoodies, baseball shirts, 3/4 shirts, face masks, notebooks, baby clothes, children's shirts, all of the above. Once again, that is www.tpublic.com/STORESITDOWNMARKS. Come find us on tpublic.com. Come to the Sit Down Marks merch store. Buy you a shirt, buy you a notepad, buy you a face mask. Tag us on Twitter. We're liable to shout you out. Also, if you have any kind of designs you might be interested in, hit us up. You know, we're always looking for fresh ideas.
Yeah, for sure. And I believe they're running 35% off right now all weekend, or at least through most of the weekend. So cheap clothes, cheap merch. Go check it out. Primo, give us that preview. What are we talking about next week?
All right, everybody. All you marks out there, come on in and sit down with Lucha Daddy. Come on real close. We're going to take a different spin on drop kick discussion of the week. We are going to break down both rosters of AEW and WWE and decide who we think has the better roster overall. DB's favorite game of Primo's music class returns as AJ once again tries to upset the reigning, defending, undisputed music class hardcore deathmatch king. That is DB.
Yes.
Wait, is all of that written down? Hold on a sec.
Yes, it is.
Say, is that in the format? What's going on?
Dress me properly.
100% in the script.
Wait, how did these become hardcore matches? I'm really confused.
You made me say that, folks. Also,
properly.
We will talk about the upcoming NXT Halloween Havoc show and much, much more. Thank you for downloading and subscribing. Special hello to all of our Aussie friends. Thank you everyone out there for your continued support. See you all right here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, same Lucha Daddy experience. Good night. Thomas Bryce, baby.
All right,
Thomas
let's go
Bryce.
home on some headlines. Let's talk about heard Bo Dallas is returning.
Fuck.
As a few other ones possibly.
Right in
Guys,
time
any
for
of those
Halloween.
returns?
Could we get a Boo Dallas sighting?
The
best
Boo
Boo
Dallas?
ever?
You just have to Bo leave.
Boo Dallas.
What if he's one of the characters?
So
I would love it.
That's actually one of the rumors, is that he is one of the characters. Everybody thinks he's the Fiend, the one that was the Fiend. So that's one of the rumors. Also, speaking of contracts, Jon Moxley has re-signed to a 5-year deal with AEW. That's a legit deal. Like, he's staying in AEW for 5 more years. Fine with me. I
think it's awesome. Hooray!
Also, along with that AEW, Jim Ross, JR, I was gonna say JR, but how were them Sooners this past Saturday, JR? Suck it. Jim Ross says that AEW. He comes out to the fucking Boomer Sooner theme music. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it does.
Jim Ross says that AEW is where he would like to finish his career.
Sure.
Which I'm honestly a little this much surprised. A little bit.
I am
can't
too.
see, that's Paquito. A little bit.
Never say never with Hunter taking over, bring him back to call a big, huge match at Mania or something one day.
Like, in my
down the
eyes, really, JR, Jericho, really that's it on the AEW roster. But those two especially, I could see finishing in WWE.
Yep, me too.
Yeah,
Brian.
Without question.
I can see Brian doing it too.
I can actually see Sting doing it as well.
Oh yeah. Real quick about the Moxley contract signing. There's a little funny piece of that that a lot of people just kind of glanced over. It specifically forbids Moxley from doing any more of these bullshit like garbage matches outside of AEW and New Japan.
Yeah, no more death matches and.
Is that why you dropped the title to Nick Gage?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So sorry, all of you terrible opinion having people out there.
Well, I mean,
garbage matches, but no more shitty Jon Moxley matches for you.
Basically, when you put a franchise tag on somebody, one of your star players, you gotta capitalize your investment.
Yeah, gotta protect it.
How the fuck did he not already have that clause in his contract?
Because they didn't put it in there.
They were like, "Oh shit, he's gonna have fun. He'll be all right." Because everybody was still doing. Everybody on the AEW roster is still doing all their indie-rific things.
Yeah.
And we all this show supports indie wrestling, of course. But, when you're as big a star as Moxley and you get paid as much as he does, you got to start protecting your investment. It's a business decision.
I mean, there's indies and then there's, legitimate independents. Whenever someone says indie-rific, that to me is the picture of backyard wires and fucking barbed wire ring juggalos. Yeah,
someone's getting hit with a fluorescent tube, kind of.
Yeah, rolling around in fucking broken glass and just being goddamn stupid as hell. But then you have true independents like Iron Spirit Pro that are actual legitimate promotions. Moxley is I wonder how I can bleed on somewhere else. We'll figure it out. Don't worry, guys.
The man does like to bleed.
He has one match, and there you go. But
I see this as them securing their investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Moxley's still super over with the AEW crowd, but goddamn, he has one match. And that's all he does. And the same thing with Jericho. They have the fucking Jericho match and the Moxley match, and that's fucking it. So yeah, no more trash wrestling for you trash wrestling fans out there.
I'm going to disagree with you about the Moxley match. Jericho match at this point in his career, yeah, he has one match. Moxley is still versatile, and he's still good enough to have different types of matches.
It's not a matter of if he's got the talent to do it. It's the fact that he doesn't.
He did it with Bryan Danielson for the championship.
How quick did they brawl that side?
I mean, yeah, there was brawling, but it was technical as well. It wasn't a fucking. I mean, yeah, he did bleed, but it wasn't because that's what he does. He bleeds.
Did they trade elbows in the middle of the ring?
Yeah, but that's a staple in every wrestling match now.
Probably, yeah. It's mainly a staple in Moxley matches: stand and trade, and then bleed, and then brawl outside, then furniture somewhere, and then stand and bleed, and try more elbows.
What else you got, Primo?
We've relegated to calling everything furniture.
It's all furniture. Just hit it with furniture.
WWE has announced Campus Rush. It is their new recruitment tour, which is a multi-campus college athlete recruitment tour, which will visit top NCAA Division I universities in search of the next generation of WWE superstars.
No surprise there. They like collegiate athletes.
They were already doing this.
They like crossovers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't
sounds like they're just rebranding it or something.
Yeah, wasn't Briscoe and Pat Patterson already scouting out of colleges? That's how they got Lesnar.
That was their thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, they literally SummerSlam weekend they had a college tryout.
So they're just labeling it now. We're doing it.
Yeah.
It's official.
They're just making it. They're making a whole tour now.
Okay.
They're actually. There's dates. I've seen this. I don't remember which colleges it is, but it's none that I was interested in because it wasn't University of Texas.
Of course.
It was a bunch of colleges. Was a bunch of dates that they're actually going to be there on campus to recruit.
What's the thing called again?
Campus Rush.
Rush or something.
WWE Campus Rush.
Did you guys see the 2024 WrestleMania logo for Philadelphia?
Yeah, I think it looks pretty.
Yes.
It is cool looking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I'm gonna look this up.
One of my favorites so far.
It looks pretty nice.
By the way, it's going to be outdoors at the Eagles Stadium.
Hell yeah!
I bet you're so excited.
I'm halfway out the door already. April in Philly could be iffy.
Philly in early.
That's not too far from
April.
It's 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's
like
going to
4
be
hours, I
cold
think.
as balls.
Could be.
Huh. That's not too bad.
Could be.
Speaking of, not speaking of anything actually, but NGW, New Japan Pro Wrestling introduced, did y'all see this? They introduced the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Championship.
I did not see this.
Super old school looking belt, honestly. It's rectangle. Yeah.
Nice.
I love the old school belts. That
Especially
was,
when
the
they're-
Screaming Eagle. Eagle's the best one.
Screaming
Yeah,
Eagle.
it's an old school, like, rectangle-ish TV title.
Does it look like a TV?
No.
Aw.
Does it have the nameplates on the side for each?
It's an LED flat screen you put on your belt buckle.
Oh man! Does it spin?
But no, in my final bit of headlines for the October 12th edition, Mia Yim and several members of Honor No More will be leaving Impact soon as their contracts are up.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Which is weird because Mia Yim just started in May, so it must have been like a 6-month deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like an appearance, like
Or,
based
yeah,
on
like
one.
per appearance up to a certain number of appearance kind of things.
Yeah.
She's had some matches, but they haven't like really put her in the forefront too much.
No.
Mhm.
She's had some decent matches too. Like she's not
I mean,
bad.
she just probably got paid.
Yeah.
That's all that matters at the end of the day, right? That dollar.
That's it. All right, boys. Good pod. You guys got anything else here before we head on out?
This
No,
campus,
I don't have anything.
this campus tour thing makes no sense.
Who's your favorite champion right now, Dirty?
Probably Jay White.
Okay.
Jay White and Samoa Joe. I haven't fired too much.
The Catalyst.
Yeah, it's hard for me to pick against Jay. God, I love him. I have a super mega
Oh,
crush
did we
on
talk
Jay.
about speaking of New Japan? Machine Gun Carl Anderson appearing on Raw while he's the never openweight
Mhm.
champion.
Yeah, he's gonna defend it too.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
still gonna defend it.
Yeah.
Triple H era, man, I tell you.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Keep spreading the good word of wrestling. Michael, thank you so much, brother, for coming back. You're coming back with us. You're going to be back here the week after Thanksgiving, so it's going to be a little while before we see you back here. So thank you again for your services.
Hey, always a pleasure. I'm always happy to, dump on wrestling dinosaurs and,
Happy to
tell
listen
people
to
why
what we
we're
should
wrong
be
about things,
Oh, there's that lady again.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
that
you-
lady.
oh, you don't get to watch John Moxley wrestle in working class anymore. Wah!
Don't worry, we still have dinosaurs.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see everybody back here next week. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm the Dirty Bird. AJ, take us home. Take. Remember a long time ago when I used to tell you guys about how I used to fart all the time during the pod?
It wasn't
Yes.
that long ago. It was
Yeah, it
like,
was like 3 weeks ago.
a month ago.
Okay, well, ever since I told you guys that, I haven't farted until today. Like I feel like myself again.
Michael,
You know,
if you could be any kind of dinosaur, wouldn't you want to be a luchasaur?
I would want to be one that doesn't embarrass myself weekly on television, unlike a wrestling dinosaur I know.
So,
Top
Lucha
guys
dinosaur.
out and
Top guys out.
dinosaurs.